We're here. We're doing it. We're doing it big. I just want to know, is you going to cry when you lose your first eyebrow? Because you never really lived until you lost an eyebrow.
All right, here we go, guys.
I feel like tears are going to come.
Richard King is in the chair.
Hey, bro, can we talk about your loss?
Yeah, I mean, it was a great loss. I mean,
Hey, friend. Yeah, buddy. My friend here, Taylor Bell, and myself, we co-parent Burek Tumel.
Yep. Yes, we do.
When Brock's on the south side of Houston, he's parented by Taylor Bell. When he's on the north side of Houston, he's parented by myself and Brandy Umber. Still a child, but he's up and coming. He's going to be there soon. Let's not take anything away from that ace, though, in overtime by John Thurston.
No way. Yeah.
What an amazing shot. That was a left slope with a left 10 wind. I think he hit a 290 in with biter backspin. Great shot. Here we go. We got two locals here in the finals. We got George Von Nuts versus John Thurston.
IMO is the best in this place. Dude, I'm telling you, man. You want to learn. You want to learn so much, man. Please come to a tournament. I know everybody says it. You got to come to a tournament. GBK's putting on a clinic. IMO, the old brothers are awesome, dude. Yeah, you jump on a machine with these guys and they'll show you anything, man. Any problem with any shot that you got, man, they're on point, and they'll teach you, baby. Now, I will tell you, IMO uses cheater balls, he uses stouts, but so do I. Ergo, only the best players use stouts, right?
Except for the bestest of the best.
Except for the bestest, right?
Yes, except for the bestest.
Top Gun and BB Gun.
All right, so let's focus on the game here, guys. This is the last match of the night. May not be the last game. If John Thurston was to win the first game, we would have another game just like we saw in the silver. But for now, here we are. George Von Koschembahr with the driver's seat shot until somebody has given me other information. The best qualifier ever in the history of Golden Tee for 5 courses.
In fact, in the history of Everdom.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
That's
until
right.
Please correct me if I'm wrong. I made a post earlier on Golden Tee. Please correct me if I'm wrong, with proof, of course.
George was in a zone. I was lucky enough to watch a bunch of it. And, George was in a zone. If he wasn't making them, he was pointing them, and it was filthy. I have no idea. I have no idea what the GSP total was for him, but he was shooting like an animal, dude. He really
sure was.
Lights out.
Well, one disadvantage for George in this is I don't think he shot for 2 hours, maybe even more.
And that's the problem, man.
And Fuzz has been playing for a long time.
That's right, grinding out with the
losers bracket.
Rocks and what? Paul didn't he play Paul?
Yes. No, I believe he beat Stenmark. I don't know for sure. Sorry, I should have that information out.
Right.
But I don't. We're on probably the hardest course of the last century right now with Dodge City. We're on number 4. And here we are.
Yeah, this is really difficult, like Mayfield is.
Yes.
So we'll move past that. And,
hey, we can't control where it lands. You know what I mean? pretty standard setups. So swing holes for Dodge City.
Not many, huh?
What's the barn holes at 7 or 8 or whatever it is here?
Right.
Yeah,
there was a barn hole on 2, I think, right? And then there's the silos. Silos you got to get around on the 2-tiered green.
Yep.
And that can be tricky, man.
And then the barn hole. Yeah, that's right. Well, both barn holes. You know, the other one where you lay up in the fairway or you could go through.
Fuzz snapping it back, dude.
So I give it. I mean, you know, you may have to hit a full sometimes on 17. I don't know that George knows how to hit a full, to be honest with you. So I'm just kidding.
George is full of it. I don't know if he knows how to hit a full.
No, it sounds like I'm talking about dude, George. Seriously, he's at my house every week.
What's the fucking board, bitches? Let's go. Oh my.
There was some vulgarity right now by George.
Those are really good microphones, so it's picking up everything.
So let's see what happens here. So these are easier shots than a lot of times. So Fuzz, as you know, has been in the zone. Ended that last match with a sudden death par 4 ace. Wow, he's come up short.
That's his first mistake that I've seen him really run off the green like that.
Well, I tell you what, Taylor, it's only a mistake if he doesn't make the chip. You know what I mean?
Fair enough. Let's see.
Because greatest shot points don't matter. Here we go.
Where we go? 9 iron.
Right down the middle.
That half swing smoothie just
there's not many people like that anymore.
No. Because everybody pulls back about half. They put release on it to pull it to the hole. Yeah, they pull it to the hole with release, but he goes that half swing smoothie from 6 yards out.
Nice shot by George right there. And those for don't know, George just switched for the first time ever away from flares and into his Build-A-Bag, or a Build-A-Bag that I gave him a month ago.
That's the first time. Everybody's been begging him to buy a bag. And
I think he was losing a lot of strokes, and he finally gave in and was like, fine, I'll do it. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe he's still shooting grabbers as well. So I don't think he made the full transition into, you know, I think the world's passed by grabbers, and I think we're more into, I think a lot of folks moved into like Barrage last year and even Titans this year. There's a few people like myself, I believe Al Jazz as well. I kind of have the same mentality as is that Barrage are better than Titans. I personally do. I don't like that monster hop. I don't like the amount of spin that you get with the woods. I like Barrage, but I still think that grabbers, I think there's a loft problem with the grabbers. I think there's a distance issue with the grabbers. But George is making that move, and what's crazy is that a month ago he switched away from flares and into his first Build-A-Bag, and look what he's done this weekend.
Yeah, being ultra successful. We're going into hole 7, tied up 10 under, and neither one of them are going to give up an inch here. They're both really, minus the last hole, they're both on point, man. They're hitting fairways, they're hitting greens. They're pointing from everywhere. It's really a sight to see, man. There's only a couple, whatever venue you go to, there's only a couple screen machines. What you don't see is what's going on in the surrounding machines, and you get to post up. You get to post up and get to watch it. Yeah. So that's mine, and that's you. Yeah. So, show is.
Still not up. So, that's a major mistake.
How are we doing? Did
hole out.
Did you see the GSPs where we got 29,000 to what? What? 20?
Didn't see. But again, for those folks that are watching, it doesn't matter in tournaments. You know what I mean? Greater shot points really don't matter in tournaments because we only go on strokes, and if you tie it up in strokes, you go to sudden death all the time.
Yep. You can have 100,000 GSBs, and your opponent has 0, and yet you go into overtime, baby.
Is that going to stay right? No, didn't stay right on. Shot though. But if you always look at that ball marker, you see how there's a flat line where George shot his original shot? That means his ball was on the deck and had an opportunity to go in. A lot of times you see that dot, when it's passed over the hole?
It's got no chance.
Well, I wouldn't say no. You got to catch it on the right bounce.
You got to catch the bounce right.
But you always want that flat line when visible, when it's a wet green, when visible, and always have that opportunity. Give yourself a chance for the ball to go in the hole.
That's right. And you and I have talked about this on the screen before. If it never passes the hole on the ground, you never give it a chance for it to go.
That's right.
So it's got to get past the hole. A lot of people want to bite and come up short. And they got a killer putt, and it might be 2 feet away, but it never had a chance to hole it out. So.
And, a lot of guys ask me, what's the best ball to play? Well, they see the best players in the world playing streaks. Well, the thing about streaks is a lot of times if you use backspin, for example, you're only going to get 7 to maybe 12 feet of backspin. So you really have to have that control of speed in order for, you to be able to make the shot like that. Guys like Andy Haas, Seth Stanifer, Paul Luna, Stenmark, those guys can control the ball. So for the guys that are starting out, I don't think that streaks are the best way to go. I really, really don't.
I totally agree. So I got to qualify with Stenmark. Got to qualify with Stenmark, and he's playing. He's coming in. Got to qualify with Stenmark, and he is playing with streaks. And he's got an 8 super, shooting into a 6 mile an hour wind. He's got an 8 iron super, and he's got backspin on it. The line, the little yellow line, is just above the hole. Mm-hmm. And he goes to thumb it. I say, oh my God, it's crazy, man. Not with an 8 iron super. But he and I got to talking about it right after that shot. Their streaks, they don't snap back very much. It's hard to backspin them. So you almost need a super set, right? A super set of irons to play with the streaks. Now, what you do gain is the killer distance. I mean, you could drive 4 states, with the streaks. But but what you lose.
George has come up a little short.
Hey, so what is George playing with?
George, I don't know for sure. I do know that when he started with the Build-A-Bag for the first time, he was still playing grabbers. Now, that's old information. That's fake news at this point. So I don't know the exact answer to that. But let's try to iron it out with the distance meter. Here we go. So Fuzz is he's at 17 under coming in this. Looks like that puts in for 19.
Yep. Put him,
and then George just puts in for an 18. So Fuzz is going to have a 1-stroke lead. Wow. Here we go. So Fuzz has got a 3-wood at 286. Pretty sure he's on streaks. That's going to be right. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, he came out. Did you see that? His outswing was a little right of the 180 line, which brought his ball back to the left just a hair. Perfect shot. George, it's another good shot.
And George elected just to play forward and just play the wind over, where Fuzz cut into the wind. George just floated it up there. Both of them are fantastic shots. Really good come-winner shots for a final. Because if you don't stick that 2-tier green, you're hosed.
Unless you putt like someone like yourself.
That's right. And I really am. I'm renowned. I'm very well known for how well I putt.
All right.
Sarcasm. Yeah, I just got some on me. Yep. Not a whole lot to do here. You just get out as far as you can. Well, that's pretty dang far there. Fuzz is really good at this cut. Goes with a larger club or longer balls, and he cuts it into the wind. Just like that.
Enough distance. Yep. Good. Looks good.
That's a great shot.
George is another good one. Oh. Yeah, I still think that's grabbers. That's a lot of bite on that shot.
Yeah, that's a lot of juice on the green.
We'll confirm with him after this game, or maybe we can reach over and ask him right now.
We got a 13 mile. Yeah, here comes another cut by Fuzz. He is dialed in with this back today right now.
He's going to get a bounce off the...
If you touch it, it's still
No,
holds
it's
the back
perfect.
Yep.
One weird shot about this whole thing is that whole... Yeah, it's getting real. There's some
waitresses dancing and turning around. Oh my God, they are. The pitch is perfect.
Georgia's elected the hole and win here. Oh, he hit the wall.
That's a bad.
That's a pretty much. If he doesn't make this, that's going to be a 3-stroke lead. So we got 3 holes left after this. We have the one hole that's super long, but they're both. Well, no, correction. I know that Fuzz is playing streaks, so Fuzz would have the advantage in the event. What's that?
Right now, George sucks right now.
Oh, George wanted me to report that George sucks right now. Those are not my words.
Hey, George sucks what?
So yeah, so 18 can get hokey. I mean, if you get behind the crates, you get behind the train, right? I don't see it happening. This guy just whips it around. Come on.
All right.
Most guys just go high and just kill it. Come on, Fuzz.
Pins on the top side. We're up 3.
Be human. At this level, at this length of the weekend, man, it really kind of disgusts you to make that kind of a mistake. But it's tough to shoot through, but you got to because you don't know if your opponent's going to mess up. Oh my God, that's a little short. That's a little short.
Oh, shit.
61 footer, like it's really nothing.
Never done with that one. Never fuck shots. On the backside.
This is a 8-13 cut, right?
I like the 8-13 cut. Yeah, 8 wood. What he's saying is 8 wood. You turn into the wind one time, a 13-mile-an-hour cut. Do a full C and straight 2, and it negates all the way.
That's a good shot right there. I don't think any of these players are full players, so they're both going to shoot the same half-half.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, which is good, because that 8 wood's too long. And that cut, kill some distance for you. That's really good. It's a smart choice. Obviously, Fuzz is doing that. He's protecting the lead here. But George, it's go time, baby. He's got to. He's got to go to work. Now, George is undefeated. Is that right?
What's that?
George is undefeated. Fuzz has got to win twice.
Fuzz has to win twice.
All right. Got to hit it hard, baby. Here we go. See what happens. Great chip. 95% of the time, he makes this little 9-iron chip right here. Maybe even more than that. Money. All right, that's the first game, gentlemen. That's the first one. He's got to double dip him. He has to double dip him, gentlemen.
But hold on, guys. More importantly, we have a new live stream of Richard King about to lose his eyebrows.
This is happening. This is really happening.
Zoom in your cameras. Get your pictures.
Screenshots work well.
Screenshots. Everything works in this scenario.
Yes.
Make your screen big. It's always better to screenshot when your screen is larger. Here we go.
Wow.
All right, do this. That's like a human rain delay over here. Hey, game on. Game on. First eyebrow.
Hi, this is Richard King, and this is Jackass. Wait, so what was the bet? Is it both of them?
Whatever I want to do with both of them.
So we're just going to...
One's coming. Yeah, one's coming off. One's gone for sure.
Do the left one, because the right one always gets it.
Okay, so just start with this one. I can start with the other side. Here we go.
Wow.
There we go.
The stream is a
I mean, the worst part about this is Ashley goes, does he mind that Jeremy shaves his balls with these?
You got me, fucker.
Oh, yeah, that's good. All right, now this one, turn this way.
All right, so.
Oh, yeah, I think we need a little line in this one.
Point at my head. No, don't do so close. Hey, you stay in one spot.
I would never be a part of this bet. I love my eyebrows.
How gentle he is.
I love my hair.
Wait, do I get a teardrop or anything?
Oh, yeah, I'll give you one of those in a minute.
That's not a tea bag. Ah, got it again.
License too.
You can't jump.
Oh, you don't put the corner in my eyeball.
Oh, that's the part you're talking about.
I'd rather lose money.
You guys really take this video off seriously.
Hey, Tate.
Hey, I'd rather you take my money.
I got some trimmers outside, dude.
You got me
Ah!
like that. Well, you think it'd be like that.
That would hurt.
It'd probably be a lot better than
I'm telling you, dude, I got trimmers in my hair.
Have you ever done this before?
Perfect.
You can't be too good, though. I'd rather be like,
The Texas Shootout.
No. Start pulling chest hairs. Get his mind right.
I already cut his height once.
It's good that you're not in the final because there's hella hair in there. That's bull. I would never play on that track ball ever again. Never. Oh shit, you're bleeding.
Play, baby.
All right, here we go. There's one last game.
What do you say, man? You say Grand Teton or you say Grand Teton?
Grand Tits.
Okay, then. Back to you, Bill. I think,
Oh, were we on the air on that one?
yeah, well, you know, we are. Now there's a guy that just walked up on us.
Huh?
20 in the shot.
So the one you look at? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All the one you look at? You got to just play for 100, whatever it is. All right, well, we're still going in. Yep, we're still going in to the final round. What's the payout difference? $120 difference? What we got? 480, 360? That is. Yeah, between first and second here. And Grand Teton really lends really well to both of these guys' style game.
If I hit a hole in one this game, I'm pretty fucking surprised. Yeah, you heard me, Taylor.
Oh yeah. You get it on your mind. Tenfo, I heard you. These guys are gonna go after everything they get. My co-host Chad Hart decided to walk away, so I'm staring down Branchy. It's a combination of Brad and Chandry. See, of Chad and Brandy. I was holding my breath, man. I didn't know if he was going to make that or not. A little bit more muscle, and he's on. So I got to watch GVK qualify and play a couple matches. By a couple, new stat came in. New stat just hit the desk. He has never been double dipped, and I'm about 3.5 feet away from these guys. I've never been double dipped, he says, by Fuzz. And let's see what happens. Oh my God, a little bit more distance. Snappy. All right, guys, can we get a ball update on the ball usage? GVK, what are you playing with, son? Stouts? Titans. Oh my God, sorry I cussed at you. Barrage? Barrage over here. So Titans over here.
Gloves 2 weeks ago, but switched to Titans 2 weeks ago. Also,
Titans over here, GBK.
when I switched to
Titans
my
over here in
glove, then I
GBK.
got switched to Titans.
That's right.
Rock Titans.
Cool.
That's right.
So, for the correction earlier,
He's a rising star, Burek Tumel. I got faith in him.
so Georgia's playing Build-A-Bag with Titans. Just confirmed. We still tied 3-3?
Yes, we are.
Right. Were there any crazy swings on 1 or 2?
No crazy swings. And yeah, we have confirmed that the Fuzz is using barrages. He's using barrage. So
Here it is. First time I didn't ace it? Yep. Like ever? No, that's just I ace it.
a lot of friendly trash talk. First time I never aced it. Right. Uh-oh. He's coming in. Is he going to snap back? I dare you.
All right.
That shove.
Oh, that's good.
That shove is really powerful, man. He's got that really down.
Well, that's how he's always played. You know, even
Really?
from years and years and years ago.
The stream, no?
Going at it.
You want to get in on it?
Yeah, GBK's got this, and he sets up. Obviously, he knows the distance of his clubs. He's got the distance of his clubs down, dude. He knows what he's doing, and then he just gets down there and just sweeps this thing. Hey, he just sweeps the ball and just either climbs right to the hole, or just goes right at it. It's pretty nasty. It's very smooth. Three wood over the top, killing it, going deep a little bit for this backhand. Yes, sir. That's a nice shot.
All right, here we go.
And George elected to play the low side.
He did.
Cut around here. Grab that green and spin right over. Go, monkey. Man, that's such a great cut, dude.
It is, and Tate, just for the record, as soon as we're done with this, I'm going to need a drink or 6.
Are you talking about water?
Mm-hmm.
No, okay, all right. I just got grunted at. Okay, all right, cool. That's good. That could be a tricky hole too, man. But into a 12-mile-an-hour, I placed out, so it's only 6 for me.
You got a little gapper, so yeah. You don't have the 290. That's weird. That's a weird club bag.
Yeah.
I don't know how folks can. That's my favorite club of the last several years is the 290 driver.
Really?
That and the 8-wood.
Oh, yeah. I arguably agree, man. Yeah, the 8-wood is so consistent. It's the opposite of the 6-wood, opposite of the 9-wood. Yeah, right? Yeah, the 8-wood's on point. I'll tell you, man, the 2-iron that I haven't used in a couple of years, the 2-iron super is on fire accurate, man, every time.
This is such a good match right here.
Yeah, really.
I think Fuzz is shooting so good, man. He is really exercising his right to be a badass.
Yes, sir. Yeah, he's been playing 2-3 weeks, right? Total,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, I think he's going on his 2nd or 3rd millennial week.
Huh? That's great. I was talking to Mike Hall, and Mike Hall said he used to play with him 22 years ago, something like that. And Fuzz has always been a killer, you know. Obviously, or not obviously, just a really good guy, but obviously really good. He's always been like this. Oh, GVK burning the edge down, son. Watch this little wing bounce and come right back to life. It's nice. Yeah, this is a hell of a match here. It's really good. Relatively error-free here. Serving out, get close to the fringe on the other side. Ooh.
I told my boyfriend, I said,
He's fine. He's got plenty of room. Looking good coming in. Damn, son. On point, this guy here.
All right.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, man. He's a Titans, right? And Titans fly like streaks, but spin like grabbers. That's the
No, I wouldn't say they fly like streaks.
okay. Because nothing does,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, if they were to fly like streaks, I can't see why everyone wouldn't play them.
Okay.
So they're definitely not as far, but they're definitely so it's a different kind of spin, in my opinion. You know, when people moved from really where the whole thing started was back on Royal Dubai number 1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if you remember, the 18th hole was a big, I don't know if it was an island. It was a different section of land across a big channel of water. And so that big bounce, like when you play the big full A1,
Yep.
the grabber didn't give you that big bounce. And so at the time, that's why a lot of folks moved to barrage, was to get that big monster bounce. You know what I mean? And that's where the whole thing started. And I think that it moved on a little bit further to Sandhill. What is that, number 4, number 5, the par 4 over the trees?
Yep.
I think that there was some argument over grabbers versus barrage there, and that barrage gave you a little bit more loft, which is so crucial on that hole.
Oh, yeah. That was Sandhill 4, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was 5. I could be wrong. 4 or 5, whatever.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And so, and that's where it all began. So this year, there's more choices. So I think the world is kind of phased out of the grabbers, and I think it's more of an argument of barrage and Titan. Now, everybody, I think that in the Golden Tee world in general, there's a lot of followers. So I think that a lot of people, choose Titans because everybody were using them early on, and they're new, and therefore, everybody's using Titans, so we use Titans.
They got into them, got comfortable, and
that's
didn't back
my
away
personal
from
opinion.
Oh, no, fair enough.
Now,
oh, no, George overthought that cut, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he kind of punked it. He kind of overcut.
And what late in the game? Was it tied up? It was tied up.
Yeah. They kind of overcut into that 14-mile-an-hour wind.
So it looks like he's got an up 5 chip. So if he can somehow manage to squeeze this chip out, we're coming into the biggest swing hole of the course.
That's a good chip. That's a great
save. He got
save.
that chip.
Yep. Hey, he needed that one for sure. Oh my!
Fuzzy pushed it.
Oh my! I haven't seen that in a while. And GVK is visibly okay with that.
Wow. So nothing to see here, folks. Still just a tie game.
Yep. Nothing going on over here.
Back to the other discussion before we run out of time.
Yeah.
I mean, but then the other part of the story is like guys like Andy Haas. I played with at TOC. He plays streaks a lot, but then I think it was Jamaica that he played non-streaks, and he chose Titans. So with that being said, there's a reason for it. My personal opinion on why I dislike streaks, Titans, is because of the major bounce with woods, and it's too much spin with woods. They're really high lofted as it is, but when you're playing 5, 6, 8 wood, those types of things, there's too much spin involved. That's my personal opinion. Many folks disagree with me, but I also think that many folks are just bandwagoning on what the meta is, if you will.
I got you.
Of what people are playing.
All right, so not to beat this into a full 18 conversation here, but if you do a full with those balls with an 8-wood, do you still get the wicked bounce, or does it mute it some because you got a full coming?
Well, you're still gonna get a big bounce, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the fulls are usually more controlled, so you're not trying to get monster spin or monster roll out of a full.
You're throwing darts, you know. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, I got you.
So it's less relevant in my mind, that first big bounce.
Sure. Okay. All
You
right.
know what I mean?
Wow.
And those in the chat, please, if you think I'm full of poop and you disagree with me, please interject and let me know what you think.
Oh my God, GVK almost nutted it. Yeah, and dude, I'm a stouts guy, so yeah, I like the input. I played with Titans for about 7 hours, and they're not bad. Oh my God, no,
Yeah.
not talking bad about them. It's
So
just different.
Stanford brought up a point. There was the 1 year I didn't play. He said he went to barrage instead of grabber on elk for the bigger bounce. And if you remember, that was the one. But there was some other issues back then with the super A1,
yeah.
some other things. But for that bounce, so
No, GVK
Wow.
showing up and showing why he just qualified first, son.
wow,
That's
big.
That's huge on 17.
Man, Fuzz is really gonna think about that putt that was fairly easy, unless he gets the backspin. Not enough. That was a bite spin. Not enough backspin.
Really into that
Moving
win.
to one of the.
Really into that win. I mean, Fuzz, the way he's been playing,
Oh,
dude.
what a
I mean,
good
he's
win.
playing that bite. It was pretty tough.
What a good win. And JVK's performance on 17 got him the early match with with Burek Tumel. Oh my goodness, folks.
Oh no, wait a minute. There's a
I was gonna say that his
there's a
17
one-stroke difference.
There's a one-stroke difference.
And it's all going to come down to this shot and the resultant chip out of GVK shot. Oh my God.
Oh no, that's got to get left. It's got to get left. It did not.
It did not get left.
Unless George 2 chips.
All these years, you finally came through.
I think George could putt from here.
I think that's gonna do it. George Von Cockennuts, our
George
second time.
Koschembahr washer.
Our second time.
He holds it for the camera.
Champion of
He
the
holds it for the
stats.
camera, and you got Fuzz behind him, posing as well. That was a hell of a match. Heck of a match, gentlemen.
Great game, guys.
Well done. Let's hear it, boys. Yeah.
Congrats to George. Very good shooting today.
You better bring it in. If you leave him hanging, he may drop you.
But thanks for everybody coming out. Again, we're going to try to do another large tournament. We're going to try to do a very large tournament coming in the summertime of this next year. We'll keep you posted. Nothing's official yet.
This is GVK speaking. I thought I was going to blow that for a second. No lie.
So now we have George, champion of our tournament. Congrats, George.
Appreciate it.
You pretty much won this thing wire to wire. So
Every match was very close. Every single one.
yeah.
There's a few matches I thought was lose. Taylor Bellow's down 3. Was down 2 to Burek.
So let me
got
ask you a
lucky.
question. So you won the qualifier by a margin of 5 strokes against Paul and 6 to myself, and so that's arguably, and we just talked about earlier online, could possibly be the best qualifier ever. I believe it is. So with that said, do you think that this is a result of you moving away from the flares and the other balls, and if so, do you feel like maybe you lost some time and you regret not moving to them earlier?
I regret not winning a tournament 2 years ago by not switching and making it build a bag, to be honest.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Because not only did I build the bag, I switched to the Titans, which give me a lot more distance, which I didn't realize the amount of distance they gave me.
Yeah.
And still have the same spin. They honestly remind me of the old school hurdles to the tee.
So what exactly took you so long to make that change?
Probably getting called bitch 80 times.
So nothing other than, I mean, just comfort level. You were just scared to move from a comfort level that you had.
Honestly, I think it took Richard looking at me and said, "You should have won 2 PGTs by now. You fucking pussy. If you would have built a bag." Pardon my French. But he told me that, and I was like, you know what? 2020, I'll try them out and see how they go.
Yeah.
Working out pretty well so far.
Yeah, that's cool. So the difference between the flare and the Build-A-Bag. Talk a little bit about your Build-A-Bag. What's making such a big difference?
Mostly the 290 driver, which, as Jeff Landon stated to me, it's like a 3-wood on steroids because you get mad distance on it. That's probably the best club in the bag. That, my 3 hybrid.
Yeah.
One for the chushing and for a couple hole 17s.
Cool.
It's very, very handy.
So up until the time that you moved to that Build-A-Bag, you were grabbers all the way across?
All the way across.
So now you're Titans all the way across?
Now I'm Titans all the way across.
Cool, man. Well, we appreciate your input, and you know, if you were to tell a player that is just starting or maybe has less than 1,000 rounds, what would be your recommendation for balls and any recommendation for clubs that they should use?
Well, I'd give a recommendation, but it's not only that. You have to stick with the recommendation you get. You can't try them out for a week and quit with the bags or the balls because you have to give them time, obviously.
Yeah, because I remember playing with you. I think I was with you the night that you started playing with the Build-A-Bag.
Yeah, and I shot a 16 under.
Right. And then, since then, I mean, we spent a couple weeks apart, and then you came back and you were shooting lights out. So
yeah, it takes a couple of weeks to adapt for myself. Maybe for an average player, I'd give it a month with the balls and the clubs.
So thanks a lot, guys. We appreciate it. So we're going to be signing off here from Houston at the Texas Shootout.
Appreciate it, George. Over and out.
All right, see you guys.